Hello, everybody. Shalom. Hopefully this is coming out okay. I'm just checking everything's working, and hopefully you can see me and hear me. If you can just let me know in the chat. I see Autumn Kite. Hello, Shalom to you. How are you doing? Speak louder. Okie dokie. I'll turn up my microphone. Is that a bit better? Can you hear me now? Is that okay? Yep, that's good. Okay. Right. So, hope everybody's doing well. What I'm going to present to you today is, as the title suggests, do not put old wine in new skins. He was not kidding, but they do. So anybody who can read through my cryptic sort of titles that I tend to do, hopefully by the end of this video you'll have grasped a little bit more of what is possibly going on in this sick, satanic world that we are living in. So where shall I start? What I'll do first is we'll go up to where should we go first? We'll go up to here. So this one here, let me just see if the screen's sharing properly. It's probably a little bit slow, but there we go. So we've got here, let me go back a page. We've got this verse here, chapter and verse. This is Mark chapter 2, verse 22. And in there it reads, "And no man putteth new wine into old bottles, else the new wine doth burst the bottles, and the wine is spilled, and the bottles will be marred. But new wine must be put into new bottles." So I started thinking about, what is the bottles and what is the wine, and what is maybe the deeper meanings of the words of all these things. As you know, probably that's kind of what I do. So wine, when you look at wine, it comes from this Strong's number, which is H3196, yayin, which is written this way in modern Hebrew, and it means wine. So if we go to this next page, well, let me get it in the right order. So while we're going over to that one, I shall just briefly touch on what they put wine in back in the day. Now they did have clay pots and things that they used to put wine in. I think the Romans used to do that, and the Greeks, and even the Egyptians. But the vast majority of poorer people tended to put wine in these. I'm going to see if I can enlarge that a little bit. Just bear with me a minute. So, where are we? I've lost my little page now. I'm going to go backwards a bit, I think. It'll be easier to look at. So hopefully you can see that, but I'm going to read it anyway. New wineskin, old wineskin. What's the difference? You know, you can all check this up. It's all on Google. Just type in a search for this stuff and you'll read the same information that what I'm looking at here. Made from cleaned animal hides, skins, often goat. Wineskins were used for carrying wine offerings, for travel, and for storing new wine. Important bit there is goat. As the wine inside continued to ferment, the skin would stretch to the point of losing its elasticity. If new wine was stored in an old skin, the skin would often burst from the pressure. Grapes, fermentation equals wine. Skins of grapes already have yeast growing on them. As grapes are crushed, juice begins fermenting spontaneously. Yeast turns the natural sugars in the grape juice into alcohol and carbon dioxide. Fermentation process often continues after the wine has been stored in the wineskin. 5. The release of the carbon dioxide causes the wineskins to expand. Now here we have a picture of two wineskins. Newly filled wineskins were often hung and stored in tents from the poles, like we're seeing here. This is obviously the goat skin, and I'm going to show you a few other pictures of what they actually look like. Wineskins were sometimes cut and made from patterns for ease of transportation. So that's a little bit about wineskins. Here you can see one and this one. Let's just click on that one and enlarge that. New wine is for fresh wineskins. So here's the skin of the goat, full up with wine inside. Now there's a process that they do involved in sort of making it ready to actually store the wine, but the basic idea is, what I'm trying to point out here is, they're putting wine, the fruit of the vine, in a goat skin. That's what they're doing. So next we'll go on to this one, this page here. Now this shows us from the ancient Hebrew.org page by Jeff Benner. This gives us the ancient Semitic Paleo-Hebrew symbols for what the word we're looking for is. And this is a G, this is a leg, somebody's leg with a foot. This is a D, the Dalet, and this is Yod. So together, reading from right to left, they spell Gedi. And it means male kid. Now underneath here you have a different variant on that, which is the ayin, then the Dalet, the Yod, and the Hay. So all in all, that spells out Adia, and that means a female kid, a young female goat. So I've covered those two. Now I'm going to go to this one. We're all probably familiar. If you're not, then you probably need to look into it and catch up sort of fairly quickly. So Azazel, anybody who's read and looked through the words of the Book of Enoch will know that Azazel was one of the fallen angels in charge of metalwork and things like that, and basically manufacturing stuff. And here's a picture of him, Azazel. Azazel was also the name of a goat. And we'll read a little bit here for those who are not familiar with it. Azazel is, according to the Book of Enoch, a fallen angel. In the Bible, the name Azazel appears in association with the scapegoat rite. Anybody who doesn't know what that is needs to search that up. The name represents a desolate place where a scapegoat bearing the sins of the, well, they'll put Jews, but we'll say Hebrews, during Yom Kippur was sent. So the Azazel goat was the sacrificial offering that was sent into the wilderness as the scapegoat. So during the Second Temple period, he appears as a fallen angel responsible for introducing humans to forbidden knowledge. His role as a fallen angel partly remains in Christian and Islamic traditions. So this goes on to tell us a bit more about how it plays out through the word in the scriptures. And there's a picture of the place that's actually named after it, Mount Azazel in the Judean desert, and cliffs of Mount Azazel, later depiction of the goats being offered up by Aaron. So the theme that's running through here is goats and wine. So next I'm going to go to this page, I think, which is this one. This is the festival in ancient Greece called Ascolia. And I'll read a little bit about that. Ascolia in ancient Greece was a yearly feast that the peasants of Attica celebrated in honor of Dionysus. The rites included sacrificing a goat, chosen because goats were prone to eating and destroying grapevines, and using its skin to make a football, adrenochrome, which was filled with wine and smeared in oil. Festival participants then competed against each other by trying to leap onto it in a game that gave the festival its name. The one who remained standing at the end of the contest won the wineskin as a prize. Participants also painted their faces with wine dregs, sang hymns, and recited satirical poetry. The Atticans also made icons of Dionysus to hang in their vineyards to turn in the wind. So that's where the Greeks went with their wine drinking festivals. That's connected with goats again. Then we also have this one, which is what the Greeks and the Romans were doing. This is Bacchanalia. Bacchanalia were Roman festivals of Bacchus. Anybody who's read up about that will know what that is. concerning Dionysia. And it's another festival about drunkenness and just throwing your morals to the wind, really. We'll read a little bit about this. The Bacchanalia were Roman festivals of Bacchus, the Greco-Roman god of wine, freedom, intoxication, and ecstasy. They were based on the Greek Dionysia and the Dionysian mysteries, and probably arrived in Rome circa 200 BC via the Greek colonies in southern Italy. Like all mystery cults, the Bacchanalia were held in strict privacy, and initiates were bound to secrecy. What little is known of the cult and its rites derives from Greek and Roman literature, plays, statuary, and paintings. It goes on to say a little bit more about the actual things that they got up to in these things. Here we go. The cult's greatest offences arose from indiscriminate mixing of freeborn Romans of both sexes and all ages at night, a time when passions are easily aroused, especially given wine and unrestricted opportunity. Women at these gatherings outnumbered men, and the consul Postumius stressed the overwhelmingly female nature and organization of the cult. Bacchanalibus itself allows women to outnumber men by 3 to 2 at any permitted gathering, and it expressly forbids Bacchic priesthoods to men. Where's that next bit? Sorry, I'm just trying to find the next bit. Oh yes, this is what I wanted to get to. So here's some pictures of this Bacchanalia festival. This is a painting from days gone by, and you can see it has like the Pan figures, and it has another one. There's another goat-legged Baphomet Pan type person, another one sitting there. The women and the children hanging around. Here they are, there's the children, all running amok, do as thou wilt. There's another one, let's have a look at this one. There's a later version by Nicholas Poussin. Here's the children with a little cup, and the lady squeezing the grape juice, the wine, fruit of the vine, into the cup for the children to drink. There's one laying on the floor. There's the men, naked men rolling around. There's the goat-headed Baphomet Pan figure. Another one there. See, this stuff is all there in the pages of our history. You just have to join the dots up. So let me see if I've covered that one as well. Yeah, we did that one. I can close that. We did the Bacchanalia one. So next I want to go to this one. So Luke 22:19-20. This is what I put in the title. And he took bread, gave thanks, this is the Saviour, Yahushua HaMashiach, and broke it, and gave it to them, saying, "This is my body which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me. Likewise, he also took the cup, this one here, after supper, saying, This cup is the new covenant in my blood. Blood, underline blood there. Wine is blood. Wine is blood, okay? Or symbolic of blood, which is shed for you. So he shed his blood, and those who drink the wine drink it in remembrance of his blood that was shed. Okay, that's what it is. So then, going back to the wine skins made of goats, if you, knowing that wine represents blood, the life-giving blood, which is why the vows of a Nazarite was that they didn't touch anything from the vine. They didn't eat grapes, they didn't touch grapes, they didn't eat raisins, they didn't eat sultanas, touch sultanas, drink wine, definitely not. Why is that? You know, is it because of the blood, or is it because the intoxicating path that the wine leads you to? So going back to the goat with the wine inside it, if the goat has the blood in it, the wine being the blood being life, it just made me think about, why all these people who traffic children and do all their crazy rituals and satanic, unruly things to the children, and they're persistent in calling them kids, as we've seen here. Gadi, the male kid, the goat, the sacrificial scapegoat. It's almost like they're seeking revenge in effect, or some form of payback for the blood that our children have flowing through their bodies by doing their evil deeds. In some way, it's all connected. That's what I've sort of drawn from this, is it's all about wine, goats, sacrifice, and basic payback or revenge for what was done back in the day. So that's pretty much all I've got for that. I'm going to go back to the picture of the goat skin there, and it's just I put a comment in one of Casey's videos the other day when he uploaded the video about the lady from Nickelodeon and her interview, where she just repeatedly kept calling the children, the world's children that are, the innocent victims of the television screens that people thrust them in front of, just to keep calling them kids. Must have been about, I didn't count. I was going to count, but I thought there's no point, because it's so far beyond repetitive that kids is like a dot that needs connecting. So I'm just trying to connect dots for you guys and people, so hopefully you can sort of see what you think, and you know, maybe you might think that I'm, you know, barking up the wrong tree or clutching at straws, but it seems to all make sense to me that goats, blood, wine just keep playing a part repetitively throughout the word and the world. So have a look in the chat and see if anybody's got any questions. Who have we got in tonight? Let's see. Hope everybody's doing well. I've got Rebecca. Shalom, sister. Autumn Kite. Oh, Escaping Babylon. Hello, sister. How are you doing? Hope your family's well. Hope your plans are all going according to plan. Who else have we got here? Yeah, I'm just going to read some of your comments through here. Life is in the blood, says Rebecca. These vipers drink blood, exactly. And eat us and the children. That's exactly right. That's, you know, that's exactly what I've sort of trying to put across with this video. I know it's not normally my sort of style, but I had to sort of piece the puzzle together a bit, really. You know, and as Casey and other channels have tried to paint the picture, it's so widespread and just becoming more and more in our face as, you know, time moves on. Hopefully it won't be for much longer. We've all just got to try and see our way to live through it all, and hopefully find salvation in HaMashiach and put a true faith in Yahuwah. So anyway, I'm not going to ramble on for too long. I just wanted to present it fairly quickly, and hopefully you guys and girls have all got something from this, and I'll catch you on the next one. Okay, all praise the Most High. Keep living righteous, everybody. Shalom.